Hey there, and welcome to Yoga with Rachel. So in today's practice, we engage in mindful movement and breath work that is intended to give us an extra boost in energy. So without further ado, let's get started. Join me at the top of your mat, standing tall, feet about hip distance apart, and now just take a moment to look down at your feet. Just notice if the toes are splaying out or splaying in. Can we find that happy medium? So that way the toes are pointing forward. Now lift your toes away from the ground and then spread through the toes as you play around with lowering a toe print down to the earth at a time. And now take a moment to just notice your foot to earth connection. Where are you placing most of the weight in your feet? And can you find a way to evenly distribute the weight amongst the whole foot as best as you can? And maybe that means just, moving from side to side a little bit here or back and forth, just to kind of notice where you are placing more of the weight. And perhaps just playing around with evenly distributing the weight as best as you can. Beautiful. Once you have played around with that, let's loop our shoulders, forward, up and back, lift your heart, lift your chin slightly, take a loving breath in through your nose, and then breathe out through your nose or your mouth. On your next breath in, send your hands high into the sky. Spread through your fingers. And now as you breathe out, find a soft bend in your knees. As you twist your upper body to the right, sending your arms from left to right, and then draw your hands back in space to really open on up through the heart. Breathe in as you send your hands down to come on up, look forward, and then breathe out, open twist to the left. Find a soft bend in those knees. Breathe in, hands go down to come on up, look forward, and then breathe out, open twist to the right. I like to imagine that I'm about to give someone a big hug, a big embrace, showing some love. Breathe in, hands come down to go on up, and then breathe out, open twist to the left, again, drawing the hands back in space. Breathe in, hands go down, then float on up towards the sky. And then breathe out to bring your hands together and then to your heart space. Loop your shoulders, breathe in, breathe out. All right, now we will be testing our balance. So if you do find balance is a little bit tricky, feel free to use a wall for support or a piece of furniture. Totally up to you. You can also hold onto a focal point out in front of you, and you can also explore another option if you wish. All right, shift the weight over towards the left leg. Find a soft bend in that left knee as you lift your right foot away from the ground. Try to level out the hips here, so pressing out of that standing leg as best as you can. And now rotate through your right ankle. Beautiful. Find stillness. And then step your right foot to the middle of your mat. So the ball of your right foot is on the ground with your heel lifted, and we still have a bend in that left knee. All right, so feel free to stay here. You can play around with, rocking forward and back, maybe even lifting the right foot away from the ground. Just taking a little bit of flight here, but just knowing that the earth is there to catch you. Or maybe you explore a Warrior 3 variation. You got this. All right, so begin to hinge forward at your hip, sending the right leg back in space as you lift the right foot away from the ground. Your torso and your leg is about parallel to the earth. Hug the belly button in towards the spine, and then dial your right toes down towards the ground to try to level out the hips. Inner thigh reaches towards the sky. Breathe in here. And then breathe on out to hug your right knee in towards your chest once again. Breathe in here. And then breathe on out to take flight once again, sending the right foot back in space. Hinging forward at your hip, exploring a Warrior 3 variation. Breathe in. And then breathe on out, hugging the right knee in. You got this. Again, the right toes can be on the ground at any point. Breathe in. Breathe on out to send it on back. You got this. Breathe in. Breathe out. Right knee comes in. And then release your right foot to the ground. Give the legs a little shake. All right. Let's now shift the weight over towards the right leg now. Find a soft bend in that knee as you lift the left foot away from the ground and then rotate through your left ankle, which probably feels really good. I know for me it does. After doing that series of movement. All right, find stillness. And then just step that left foot to the middle of your mat, lowering the ball of your left foot onto the ground. And once again, you can just play around with rocking back and forth here. Maybe even just finding a little lift in that back foot. Just exploring and playing. Or if you would like, you can take flight with me and let's do this. Begin to hinge forward at your hip. Left leg goes back in space. Dial the left toes down. Tuck in your chin so we're looking down at the ground. And once again, hug the belly button in towards the spine. The core is really supporting us here in this posture. Breathe in. And then breathe on out to slowly bring the left knee back in. Breathe in here. And then breathe on out to slowly send the left leg out long. Warrior 3 variation. Breathe in. Breathe out to bring it on back in. One more on your own time. All right, release your left foot down to the ground. Give the legs, the arms, and the hands a little shake. And then on your next breath in, send both hands to the sky. Breathe out, forward fold, hinging at the hips. Breathe in to find a halfway lift. Breathe out to fold. Now walk your feet together, arch to arch. Your legs connect. Breathe in. Breathe out. On your next breath in, send both hands high into the sky. Breathe out, forward fold, hinging at the hips. Breathe in to find a halfway lift. And then breathe out to fold. Release your fingertips to the earth as you begin to lift your heels away from the ground, bending at your knees and dropping your seat towards your heels. Beautiful. You can keep your fingertips on the ground if you wish, or you can play around with balance and stability in the body, lifting the fingertips away from the ground. Bring your hands to heart in prayer position to help keep you grounded. Find length through the back body, lifting the crown towards the sky, finding an energetic lift in the pelvic region as best as you can here, so that way we're not dumping any weight into the heels. Again, your fingertips can be on the ground, offering love and support. Breathe in, breathe out. All right, lower your fingertips down to the ground and then lower your knees to the ground as well. And then walk it on back. So that way you are near the center of your mat. We find a tabletop position with the wrists underneath the shoulders and then the knees underneath the hips. Beautiful. Hug the belly button in towards the spine. As you curl your right toes under and then slide the right foot towards the back edge of your mat, find a rock back and forth. Find stillness. Press into the top of your left foot. Spread through your fingers, pressing into the fingertips. Breathe in. Breathe out to lift the right foot away from the ground. Dial the right toes down. Your back leg is extended. Your foot is reaching towards the back of your room. All right, now reach your left hand forward. Imagine that you're going to shake someone's hand. Breathe in here, and then breathe on out to hug it in, elbow in towards the knee, rounding through the back body. Breathe in, lengthen and extend. Breathe out to hug it in and squeeze. Breathe in, lengthen, extend. And then breathe on out to round on through the back body, thinking cat pose here, elbow towards the knee. Breathe in, your hand goes forward, leg goes back. And then breathe on out to find your tabletop position. Curl your left toes under and then slide the left foot towards the back edge of your mat. And once again, we rock forward and back. Find stillness. Press into the top of your right foot, spread through the fingers, establishing that beautiful hand to earth connection. And now lift that back foot away from the ground. Turn the toes to face towards the mat. We're trying to level out the hips. And then reach your right hand forward. Breathe in here to find length. And then breathe on out to hug it in, squeeze, feel that contraction in the abdominal wall. Breathe in, reach and extend. Breathe out to hug it in, squeeze. Breathe in, extend. Breathe out to bring it in. Breathe in. And then breathe on out to find your tabletop position. And then just sit back towards your heels to take a little break. You can interlace your fingers here and then just take the hands in a circular motion. Or if you would like to get a little work done in the forearms, you can find like this wave motion. Looks kind of neat. Feels great. Okay, and now we are going to make our way back to all fours. I am sweating quite a bit. I can definitely feel it. It's extremely hot here. This is just a side note, like we have this heat warning in effect, and I have my air conditioning turned off just simply because like it's very, very loud when it kicks in. So yeah, definitely feeling it today. Okay, anyways, let's get back to the practice. We're coming back to all fours, and the wrists will be underneath the shoulders. Step your feet towards the back edge of your mat, heels reaching towards the back edge. We're creating a beautiful line of energy from the head all the way to the heels. Brace your core, press away from your mat, shoulder blades going from left to right. Now, my friends, there is an option to stay here, or you can play around with stepping your right toes off of the mat, and then bring the right toes back in, left toes off the mat, and then back in. So we're doing these toe taps. So I invite you to take this action away. Keep your breath flowing. It may be tempting to just hold the breath here. And we're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the knees down. Ooh, bring the big toes together, knees about as wide as your yoga mat, and then send the hips back, actively reaching your hands towards the top edge of your mat. Release your forehead to the ground, extended child's pose. Breathe in, breathe out. Press into all this, touching the earth to help you rise on up. Come forward, arch through your back body, so you're dropping the belly towards the ground. Look forward, just like in a cow pose. And then breathe out as you hug the belly button in towards the spine, finding a neutral spine, and then sending the hips back, extended child's pose. Breathe in, coming forward, finding that beautiful cow stretch, and then breathing out to hug it in, and then sending the hips back. All right, I invite you to take this action away. Just flowing here, reconnecting with your breath. All right, let's all meet back in extended child's pose for 1 breath cycle. All right, lift your head away from the ground, look towards the top of your mat, and then slowly rise on up. Walk your knees together, swing the legs to one side, and then make your way to a comfortable seat. So that could be a cross-legged seat, that could be one leg in front of the other, whatever feels good for you, kneeling. It's all good. All right, place your hands on your thighs, loop your shoulders, find length through the back body, tuck in your chin slightly. Breathe in, breathe out. So we are going to end our practice today with a little breath work, which will, get the energy flowing if it's not already. And it is also a really great one for calming down the nervous system. So if you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, or anything like that, this breath work can really be useful for that. So I will guide us through it. I'm going to keep it easy peasy for everyone. All right. So how this one works is that we're going to breathe in through our nose for 5 counts, and then breathe out through the nose for 5 counts. And we're doing our best to keep the breath, so like the inhalations and the exhalations, as smooth as we can. So again, I will lead us through it. It's all good. I invite you to close your eyes or look down and past your nose. Let's just breathe in as we normally would. And then breathe out. All right, let's begin. Breathe in through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out through your nose. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out through your nose. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out through your nose. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out through your nose. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in as you normally would, and then breathe out. Take a quiet moment to just notice how you feel energetically, physically, mentally. And when you are ready, I invite you to bring your palms together and then to your heart. You can bow your head, just experiencing a nice stretch through the back of the neck. Take a loving breath in and a loving breath out. Thank you for being here today. I hope that this practice served you well and it got the energy flowing. Until next time, take care. Namaste.